Oh, hello. Nice to meet you. Hello again.
Hello,
Thank you. Thank you
nice
for
to meet you.
coming.
Thank you so much for this second session of invitations from you. Thank you so much, Valerie, Dr. Valerie. Uh,
Thank you. Thank you. You coming. Yeah, thank you. And
thank
now
you.
we can invite everyone, all participants in waiting room. Yes, if
Okay, but wait, because I'm just want I'm telling you before, I'm just want to add my laptop to the account because I have a problem in the voice like the previous time. So I'm asking to just check the audio and technical issue before we go through for the meeting. Uh,
yes, yes, of course.
just give me one moment just to just ask about the echo. Recording in progress. Yes, there is a problem in echo. Wait. What about now? Yeah.
Oh, echo. I have echo.
Yes, wait. I'm going to do. Is there an echo now?
Yeah, yes, yes.
Can you listen to me now?
Yeah, yes, yes, I
Is
can.
there, is there any echo or is that good now?
Now it's good. Now it's
Okay.
good.
Okay. Can go ahead.
So we can invite everyone. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Hmm. Hello, everyone. Now, some participants have been joined. Some will join us a little later, I hope. Now we can start, and uh, we are pleased to continue our lecture series with today guest speaker, Dr. Ayman Mohamed El-Ashry. Um, I I will remember you. He is assistant professor affiliated with University of Saudi Arabia and Alexandria University in Egypt, where he works in the field of nursing, mental health. So today we have the second session. Yeah, thank you. We are glad to welcome him back and look forward to another insightful session. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. This is my second meeting time with Dr. Valerie, and I'm very glad to for these invitations, and I hope and I'm looking forward to learn from each other because we started the first sessions talking about burnout preventions through emotional intelligence and resilience by building acceptance and commitment therapy, and this is one of the new therapy based on third wave of cognitive behavioral therapy. In the previous session, just for summary, making a summary for continue, we're talking about burnout and how burnout affecting not only emotionally or psychologically, but also it affecting your brain structures biologically, and it's talk about the effect on hippocampus and amygdala and frontal cortex of decision making and attention and concentrations, and telling you that frequent and high risk of exposure for stress and anxiety for most of times will leading to you rewiring your brain structures and affecting your ability to concentrate and taking decisions and ability also to regulate your emotions. And from that, we found at the end of the sessions that there is an antidote. The antidote is that through psychosomatic therapy, is based on acceptance and commitment therapy, based mindfulness therapy, and mindfulness techniques, which is going to rewire your brain structures again. And these parts or structures of your brain that affecting because of burnout exposure is going to regenerating again in positive aspect, in positive side through using acceptance and commitment therapy. And for the second session that we are going to talk today, we are going to practice. I know that the first session is theoretically, and we are talking about how this theory is based on what and how this theory is founded from, and what's the difference between cognitive behavioral therapy, traditional cognitive behavioral therapy, and acceptance and commitment therapy, and between the second wave and third wave of cognitive behavioral therapy. Today, we are going to go on and go to for practice. We are starting with how ACT work, how acceptance and commitment therapy work. Acceptance and commitment therapy, if you look into the name of the therapy, you will find that it contains from two words, acceptance and commitment. What I mean by acceptance? That I'm going to learn and we are going to practice with each other how we accepting our unpleasant, unhelpful thoughts and feeling and the memories that affecting our life actions. So the first part, which is very important, is called acceptance in this therapy. And second part, need just to make the mobile silent. And the second part is to be committed toward our actions. As you see in the last sessions 2 weeks ago, we talk about choice point. When you are included, when you are inside a situation that is unhelpful and make you suffer and struggling, you have a choice to take away move from your life that you wanted to be, or toward move toward your life that you wanted to be. What happened is that you have a control on your thoughts and feelings. You have a choice. You're supposing to choose what is the best for your life. Never give your thoughts and feeling to controlling your life. And we talk about the problem in control. Now we are going to talk about 6 sessions. The first one is called acceptance, which means making room for difficult thoughts and feeling without avoidance. And the second session is cognitive diffusion, which means seeing thoughts as just thoughts, not literally true or facts. It is just thought. It changes with time. You are not a failure all of the time. Sometimes today you are a failure in an exam, but tomorrow you get succeed. Being present with connecting with fully with the present time, with here and now. This is the third session. And the fourth session, self as a context, which means that observing your thought and feeling without being detached. And the 5 sessions is going to talk about values, how you clarifying your values, what is truly and deeply important to you. And we are going to differ between goals and values. Is there a difference between goal and value? Yes, there is a difference. And what the meaning between both of that can affect in your actions. And we are going to end this sessions, the third session with committed actions. Today, we are going to talk about 3 sessions and 3 techniques, which called acceptance, cognitive diffusion, the being present. And the last sessions, I think 2 weeks after that, this is we're going to be the end sessions. We are going to talk about the final 3 sessions, which called self and the context, values, and committed actions. In this slides, we can talk about the ACT hexaflux model. The ACT hexaflux models, it about talking about the 6 sessions of acceptance and commitment therapy, which based on 3 meanings. We are going to talk about openness, awareness, and engagement. If you look into this show, you are found that openness can be done by acceptance and cognitive diffusion. What mean by you are open to your thoughts and feeling that is unpleasant and unhelpful to you. And then second one is called awareness. And awareness can be improved by present moment and self as the context. And the final talk about engagement and your engagement in your life through focusing on your values and your committed actions. So if we are going to look to this representing psychological flexibility, which we are talking about in the previous session, and measuring these techniques or these traits, which are psychological flexibility through acceptance and action questionnaires from 7 items. I don't know if you remember that or not, but we measured that before in the previous sessions. Now, before we go on, we are going to show our videos to talk about what is a method of happiness. I invite everyone of you just listen to this video before we continue.
Popular ideas about happiness will make you miserable if you actually hold onto them too tightly, believe them too much, or let them dictate how you live your life. And there are 3 big happiness myths in particular that create this happiness trap. The first is the idea that happiness is the natural state for human beings. You know, if you give human beings food, water, shelter, and loving relationships, they're just gonna naturally be happy. You've probably heard this myth in many, many forms. The reality is that the normal state for a human being is an ever-changing flow of emotions. Emotions are like the weather, continually changing. You wouldn't say the natural state for the weather is a warm spring, sunny afternoon. It's natural in winter that it's going to be colder. In summer, it's going to be hotter. And so it is with our emotions. You expect to feel anxious in challenging situations with an uncertain outcome. You expect to feel fear when there's danger or threat present. Now, the second big happiness myth links to the first one, the idea that happiness means feeling good. If you look at most dictionary definitions of happiness, it's described as a state of pleasure or a state of contentment. Well, if this is your notion of happiness, then there's no such thing as lasting happiness. Because how long does a good feeling last? Think of the happiest day of your life. How long did a state of pleasure or contentment last before there was some frustration, disappointment, anxiety, irritation? If I were to define the word happiness, I would describe it as living a rich, full, and meaningful life in which we feel the full range of human emotions. The things that make life rich, full, and meaningful don't just give us pleasant feelings. Like, think about building loving relationships. Think about people that you love and care about and you spend a long time with. Do you have a relationship like that in your life that only gives rise to pleasant feelings? When relationships are going well, there's often wonderful feelings of love and joy, but all relationships come with tension and conflict and difficulty. If you're a parent, if you have children, then you know that having kids brings a huge amount of meaning and purpose and fulfillment into your life. But what other feelings does it give you? Now, when I ask this question to audiences at my public workshop, there's a big laugh, and then parents start calling out anxiety, guilt, frustration, anger, rage. You know, It's like amazing how these people that we love so much can arouse such strong, painful emotions in us. So this holds true for really any meaningful life project, from building a career, from looking after your body, from building a family. The things that make life rich, full, and meaningful give you plenty of painful emotions, as well as some very pleasant ones. And the third big myth that feeds into the other two is the idea if you're not happy, you're defective. More and more, human nature is being pathologized as signs there's something wrong with you and you need some medication to fix it. The reality is that if you're not happy, you're normal. Life is difficult. You know, I ask my public workshops, is there anybody here who thinks life is too easy, that needs some more difficulty in their life? Anybody in this room that needs some more pain and suffering? You know, life is hard and challenging. Not always, but a lot of the time it is.
Now, this small shows videos from Ross Harris about ACT learning. It's talking about the three methods of happiness. I hope that is learn you something about the concept of happiness and the methods that we are misconcepted about the definition of happiness about ourselves. So it's normal to feeling bad. It's normal to feeling pain. It's normal to feeling to suffer. It's normal. Life is tough. Life is difficult. And one of the things that make you feel happy is to suffer. And there is a proverb in British language. It's called pain for gain. If you wanted to get gaining or get succeed, you're supposing to get failure first before. No one feeling that he is successful without he get failure before. So it is normal to feeling that. So we are going to continue with this formula, resilience formula, 4 approaches to any problematic situations. Every one of you using this 4 approach when he faced a situational problems. The first option is to leave. There is a lot of people when they face very problematic situations or anything that he can't do or solving the problem, they just leave. You just leave what he faced, and this is bad, by the way. And the second option is to stay and change what can be changed, and this also can make you suffer more and more. And the third option is to stay and accept what can't be changed and live by your values. And this is the third option. And the last option is to stay and give up trying and do stuff that make it worse. Everyone using this formula can telling himself that what is the choice that he is familiar and usually doing it. Is it he leave or stay and change what can be changed? Or he stay and accept what can't be changed and live by their values? Or stay and give up trying and do stuff that makes it worse? So we're supposing to choose the third choice. Stay, accept what cannot be changed, and live in the life that is worthy and important to us. We start by the first session, which is called acceptance, with another meaning is called expansion. Now, with the process is about creating a space for emotions and the impulses and the feeling we might otherwise suppress or avoid, which you're talking about is called experiential avoidance. Anything that you feeling that is unpleasant or make you suffer, a lot of people avoiding that, avoiding by sleeping, avoiding by watching TV, avoiding by doing destructive techniques, avoiding by doing unhelpful and maladaptive coping like drinking alcohol or go to for substance use, by the way, and this is one maladaptive coping behavior. maladaptive coping. So the biggest and one of the important choice that I'm going to learn you is just by accepting rather than fighting these experiences. We avoid over this inflating them or wasting energy on them, allowing us to move forward more easily. And in the previously we talked about that feeling is like snowball. Feeling is born from your mind very, very small, like a baby. And you feed this feeling by focusing and fighting with it. The more you fight, the more it becomes bigger and becomes stronger, like snowball, like this way. And your mind is wandering between past and future. And if any one of you want to read a book, there is a book, a very powerful book, is talk about the power of now. If you're telling yourself how many hours, or how long hours in the day you are using the now power in your mind, you are sitting a lot of the time wandering between the past and the future. You are sitting in the present, thinking and focusing what you passed in the past from feeling and from failures, from unwanted experiences, and from memories. And sometimes you go to the future, focus on the conclusion. Something is not happened yet. And this is what your mind work. Is always wandering between past and the future. And this is what you're missing the power of now. You're not focused on the now. So by acceptance, you just make a space for this unhelpful thoughts and feeling. You just make a room for this. You stop fighting and stop struggling. And this will make you more controlling in the present. This will make you take an action that is clear, with attention and concentration, without cloudness. Because sometimes when you take an action with past experiences that you passed before, that is affecting your actions. So there is a proverb saying that never take an action while you are angry or you are thinking about the past experience, because that make you feeling worth and make you take an action without attention and without concentrating well. So the core concept of acts, by the definition of acceptance by a study of Hayes et al. In 2012, acceptance is an active, conscious embrace of private events without unnecessary defense. The goal is not like pain or resign to it, but to change the relationship with it, so that a person can keep moving toward a meaningful life. Ross Harris is talking about that acceptance is opening up to difficult external and internal experience rather than fighting them, because the fight itself often become part of the suffering. So acceptance is not liking your pain, resigning yourself to suffering, approving of difficult emotions, or passive surrender. Acceptance is an active conscious choice, changing your relationship with pain, creating a space for what is already here, freedom to act on what matters. One of the first exercises that I'm inviting you to practice is called about a struggle switch. This is talk about that there is a switch inside your mind. This switch, imagine that like a metaphor. We're talking about a metaphor. This switch make you take an automatic response toward unpleasant thoughts and feeling. When you're facing unpleasant thoughts and feeling and memories, this switch is on and your mind begin to resist and fighting. You don't love that. In act, when we're talking about the struggling switch, the distinguish between being and a normal part of life and the struggle what happen when tense up against that pain or suppress it or insist it must not be there. This make you struggling. You all of the time resisting, suppressing, avoiding, insisting that supposing it not be there. So Bring to your mind, to the mild but a real difficult feeling, an anxiety before speaking, disappointing or frustration. Do you tense up? Do you try to push it away? Do you judge yourself for having it? If I ask any one of you now to bring some thoughts to their mind that is unpleasant for him, every one of us have a thought that is unpleasant and unhelpful for us. Everyone. If I ask any one of you to just focus on these thoughts right now, and this is an exercise by the way, try to bring this thought to her mind. What happened next? Your mind begin to resist, begin to avoid, begin to struggle, especially the thoughts that unpleasant and unhelpful to you, especially when these thoughts is not make you happy, but make you suffer. This is what is called a struggle switch. When you're facing this, your mind begin to struggle and begin to struggle and beginning to struggle because you don't feel good when you're thinking about these thoughts. But what happened if we switch or turn off the switch? What happened if I'm telling you when you're facing an unpleasant thoughts or memories, stop trying fighting, stop trying struggling or avoiding or suppressing it. Now, if you turn off this switch, the feeling is still here. The feeling is still there in your mind, but you are no longer adding a battle against it. You are allowing it to exist. No, just as it is in this moment. Don't leave your mind to take you wander back to past experience that make these thoughts get worse or get more and more and more strong. So acceptance doesn't remove the original pain intensity, but it often reduces the secondary suffering created by struggling with it. Stop struggling and turn off your struggle watch. Okay, switch your struggle to off mode. Now I'm going to show a videos talking about that more simply.
Anxiety. With the struggle switch on, I may then get angry about my anxiety. Why does this anxiety keep showing up? I hate this anxiety. It often seems like we've got a struggle switch at the back of our mind, and as soon as an uncomfortable emotion, a painful feeling or memory shows up, it's like the struggle switch goes on and we start to struggle with it. So let's suppose anxiety shows up. A very common, painful emotion that we all get to experience. Anxiety shows up, the struggle switch goes on. Oh, here's anxiety. I don't like anxiety. I want to get rid of my anxiety. Now I've got anxiety about my anxiety. So it's getting bigger. With the struggle switch on, I now get, oh, my anxiety's getting bigger. How do I get rid of my anxiety? Now I've got even more anxiety. With the struggle switch on, I may then get angry about my anxiety. Why does this anxiety keep showing up? I hate this anxiety. Then I might even start to feel sad about my anger. Oh, is this my life? Oh, and then I may start to feel guilty about my sadness about my anger. Oh, how pathetic am I when there's starving kids in Africa? So with my struggle switch on, my emotions get amplified. I've now got guilt about my sadness, about my anger, about my anxiety, about my anxiety. And that kind of amplification of emotions gives them more impact and influence over my life and often gets me bogged down or pulls me into self-defeating behaviors. Now, what happens if I can switch off the struggle switch? With the struggle switch off, anxiety shows up, and it's not that I like it or want it or approve of it, it's just I'm not going to struggle with it. I'm not going to invest my time, energy, and effort in struggling with this anxiety. Instead, I'm going to invest it in doing meaningful, life-enhancing activities, such as spending quality time with my friends and family, or playing with my kids. Now, with the struggle switch off, the anxiety is free to move. It may get higher, it may get lower, it may move quickly, it may move slowly, but the point is it's free to move. It doesn't get amplified by all of these other emotions which make it kind of bigger and stickier and make it hang around for a lot longer. So there's no such thing as a life without anxiety. It shows up for all of us. But when anxiety shows up and the struggle switch is off, it's so much easier to live with than when the struggle switch is on.
Now you can see what the importance of you make your struggle switch off. Because so now I invite every one of you to let this switch off.
So imagine that you're sitting in front.
So I invite every one of you to make this struggle switch in the off position. Okay, this is the first step of acceptance. Just make this struggle switch in the off positions, because if you make it in the on position, you will struggle more and more. Now, a second exercise is going to expanding your feeling. This exercise is teaching you to make space for uncomfortable feeling in the body. And breathing is this as opening up and making room, a very practical embedding from of acceptance to work as with a live audience. The breathing question to ask is what was like to stop fighting the feeling? Yani, if I want to ask every one of you about that, if you are going to stop fighting with the feeling, what was it like to you? And the second question, did allowing it feel different from resisting it? Now, if any one of you practice that for just only 2 minutes, just write to us what you feeling. I just need that for be a discussion with each other. Okay, I give you 1 minute just for anyone to respond for that. Just 2 questions to answer. Very brief. What was it like to stop fighting the feeling? And there is a difference between allowing it feel different from resisting it. Is the difference between accepting and resisting? If anyone practice that for 1 minute, for any feeling he feel before that is unpleasant and uncomfortable, what happened to him? I'm going to look to the chat or any response. Stopping the fight look like observation and feeling like release. Yes, this is a good. I need to abstract myself, take time away from the negative feeling, but don't give up on it. Very good. Yes, this is a very good observations, Valerie. Yes. And for the, I can't pronouncing the name of the first one. And stopping the fight look like observation. Yes, you get the point. Acceptance is observations, not fighting. Yes, it's a very good explanation. So I think if you're allowing this feeling to come and go without struggling and fighting back is very good than resisting it or fighting with it. Time to experience the feeling, not to fix it. Yes. Angela, I talk about very hard to get started. Take your time, Angela. Take your time. You feel sadness, but it stop eating with it. It's start to be as a step to live, to life, not from life. Yes, this is a good explanation to the meaning of value. Through acceptance, you get a forward move toward your life, not from your life. It's a very good explanation, by the way. Yes, you're supposing to do that in the context of your values. What is important to you to make that worth, to make that worth. Okay. Another, Valerie, talk about if you compare it to a painting, don't look at the central elements of the painting, but at other details.
If I can comment, it's like I don't remember the name of this effect, like agglutination effect, or I don't remember really. This means you can, like, for example, the central element of painting of some art is like a central problem, but sometimes we forget about the details and the beauty of this whole picture,
Yes,
and
yes,
you should take attention to some details around.
yes. Yes, I'm understanding what you're saying. Just talk about the details that give you more meaning than the conclusion. If you are seeing a movie, you're supposing to not see the last scene in the movie. You're supposed to see the whole movie to just get to the end. Yes, I'm understanding that. Okay. VLOOK, yes, then we can look for values. No, VLOOK, but if you wanted to start acceptance, you're supposing to start acceptance in the context of values. If I can tell you about that, we have 6 sessions we talk about in the first slide, 6 sessions. But when I'm going to practice that in my life, I'm supposing to start by values. So value is giving it you motivations to go on by to acceptance and diffusion and mindfulness, because sometimes this feeling which is unpleasant and uncomfortable make you suffer and you stop. Maybe you begin, okay, I will begin to practice acceptance and I begin to practice mindfulness. But if that is done without values, this is not good. You're supposing to start by values, by the way. So at the first you're supposing to start, but what is important to you to make you do that. This is will give you motivation to start this type of therapy because your mind, and by the way, this is by training. You cannot do that for one time. No, no, you're supposing to repeat that repeatedly all of the day to make that familiar with you. So the therapy of ACT is not separately doing. I'm not going to start by acceptance, and after that I'm going to the second session. No, all of the 6 sessions doing at the same time. It is not linear. No. Okay. So if Sergi is talking about stop, think, and then act. Yes, that's good. But if you wanted to tell me to explain that more, not stop, think, accept
May
what you
I
see.
ask, sorry, may I ask about what you taught about values? So it means that the first, it maybe it is not the first step. Yes, it's like it's pieces of cake. So the values is something what is moving us to start this changing.
Yes.
Am I right when you told about this?
Yes, yes. Because if I ask you, Vilko, I pronouncing your name right, Vilko?
Katerina,
Katrina. Yes, Katrina. It's a beautiful name, Katrina. If I ask you, Katrina, what is the most important thing in your life? What is the most important thing in your life?
I think it's children for now. Maybe then
Family.
when they will grow up, it will be something else.
You talk about family. Family, the most
Yes,
important thing for you
yes.
now. What is the next? What is the next? If I give you 4 choices, make that in priority, starting by family, and secondly,
Hmm. Secondly, it will be something for me, so it's like comfort.
Comfort.
Yes,
Something related to yourself.
yes, what
Yes.
will give me resource and feeling me better.
Yes. And third,
Mm, something interesting, not about something interesting to know something new about life, about people. That's why I'm here.
relationship. You're talking about relationship with other around you.
No, it will be the third one will be about knowing something new, and the fourth it will be maybe relationship. Yes, it
Yes,
will
you
be
get
good.
what I'm asking now. I'm asking that question because I'm
Mhm.
just wanted to tell you that you just thinking what is important to you. You don't know what is important to you right now. You think, oh,
Mhm.
maybe family first. No, sometimes maybe job first. Sometimes maybe money first. Sometimes maybe safety and peace. Sometimes maybe my children. Sometimes maybe my husband. Sometimes maybe, you know that? I'm asking right
Mhm.
now because a lot of people cannot exactly telling us what is their values is. They can't be specific in determining their values. And this is a very, very serious issue because what you are doing toward the road in these values. Okay, I'm starting by my family. Are you good with your family? Are you in a good relationship? Are your children, which is a part of the family, is good with you? Are they feeling satisfied with their lives? Are you give them what the best for their lives or not? A lot of questions around the values of family. Okay, what about your actions? Now I will take you to another issues, which you call action. Okay, which you call goals. Are you make a goal that is toward this value or not? Sometimes you take a goal or actions that very far from the values. So the value and the goal supposing to get consistent with each other. We're doing that in the same way. If I ask you, what is your value? Someone is getting to you, what is your goal, by the way? I want to be rich, a rich man. I have a lot of money. Okay,
Mhm.
this is one of your goal. I will give you the difference between goal and value right now. Okay, how you can get the money? This is going to take us to the value. You can get the money by rob a bank or take this money by violence from other people. You can take that and you get rich, by the way. There's a lot of people doing that. You get their money from illegal issues, from illegal actions. This is, you focus on the goal without values. But if you focus on the value, I get the money and become a rich man in a meaningful and moral and acceptable way from the perspective of society. This is the difference between goal and value. So, supposing the goal, never focus on the goal without be specific for your values. Now I'm asking you, what is your values? You thinking about your values. And if you want to know the priority of your values, it's changing with time. This week, you make the family first. Second week, you make the job first, and so on. This is not bad. But what is bad when you make a goals is not consistent with your values. This is what we are focused here. And there is another sessions in the next I think 2 weeks. We are going to talk about values and goal and how do that consistently and meaningfully toward our lives. Now we return back to acceptance and how to accept more and more through expansion around our feeling. I will give you five techniques you can do with each other. Notice. This is the first technique you're supposed to learn. Notice. Where do you feel this in your body? Notice. I don't know. Is this the sharing is still there or not, Dr. Valerie?
What- Yeah, you mean presentation? Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
Now we have exercise too.
yes, yes, yes. Exercise two, we are going to start by noticing where do you feel of this feeling in your body, chest, stomach, throat, or shoulder. When you feel anything, start to notice the feeling. Where this feeling inside my body? Where is it? Is it in my chest or my stomach? Or there is a feeling, leave it in my stomach or my throat or my shoulder. And also name it, gently name it. Is it anxiety or sadness or tension or fear or heaviness? And third, breathe into it. Start to expand this feeling by breathing into it. Imagine breathing into the area, not to remove it, but to make room for it. Open up around it, soften around the sensations, let it be there. You don't have to like it, only make room for it, accepting it, and allowing it to say quietly, here is this feeling. I can allow this feeling to be here without fighting, without resisting, like this way. Okay. Now I will take you to another video. This is one of the videos that I'm creating by myself, and this is a very good video, by the way. It's going to give you the meaning of acceptance, and I hope and every one of you just to get attentive to the what I'm saying in this video. Imagine you are in a tug of war with a monster. The monster representing the problem in your life. It might stand for depression, shame, physical pain, or any other difficult experience. Between you and the monster, there is a huge, seemingly bottomless pit. At the time, your problem may feel overwhelming and you may fear that the monster will pull you in the pit and that will make a game over for you. You may also think that is if you could just pull the rope in exactly the right way, you could pull the monster into the pit instead. Then you wouldn't have any problem anymore. Wouldn't that be great? But no matter how hard you try, it seemed impossible to pull the monster into the pit. You wrap the rope around your hand, dig your feet on the ground, and try even harder, but it still doesn't work. Why? Because perhaps there is no such thing as life with no problems. And meanwhile, off in another direction, are the things that really matter to you. This is your values. You feel a deep desire to move toward what matters to you. But if you do, you worry that the monster will come after you and the pit is deep, but not so wide that the monster cannot jump over it. So what you do? What is the solution for this battle? I will I will just stop the videos and ask you if you in this battle with this monster, what is the solution? Can anyone tell me? I can listening to the read the comments. What is the solution you can take in this battle? I'm waiting the comments. I think the solution is very easy, by the way. The solution is just to drop the rope. Just to drop the rope. If you drop the rope, you become free. If you drop the rope, you will preserve your energy. You will stop fighting. But make that in your mind. The monster can still wander around you freely. The problem you face, especially worries, negative thoughts, and painful emotions, may feel frightened, but can actually harm you? No, no, no. Letting go for the rope means allowing worries and negative thoughts and difficult emotion to show up and do what they do while you keep moving toward what is important to you. So now your hand is free, your mind is free. You can looking after your family, you can looking after your friends by stopping for this fighting by pulling the rope. Now you are free. You can live your life. So stop pulling the rope and drop the rope. I practice these techniques with patients in psychiatric hospital, by the way, who have auditory hallucinations, schizophrenic patients, about 5 years ago. And I gave them these three pictures. The pictures number one, when he is pulling the rope with the monster, and the pictures number two, after he dropping the rope, and the picture number three, when he focus on his family and his friends and begin to accept and change the relationship with their thoughts and feeling which is unpleasant and uncomfortable by not pulling the rope with it. Now, I will give you to the second session or the second video. This is a very good video, by the way, and I will invite you to just listen to him, to it. Bad guest metaphor. Yes. Yes.
But before you know it, he goes straight inside without even saying hello. And he goes up to your guests and he's rude. He helps himself to drinks and food. And he generally acts...
It started from the beginning. Yes. And make you translate it in Ukrainian language. No one is going to translate in English.
Imagine one day you decide to throw a party for all your friends. You get out your phone and you start inviting people. You want a really big party, so you say, anyone can come. And on the big day, you get your place ready for the party. And you're really excited to see everyone. And pretty soon, the guests all start arriving. After a while, everyone you're expecting has arrived and you're having a really good time. But then the doorbell goes, and you think, I wonder who that is. Must be someone I've forgotten about. And it is. Someone who you definitely did not want at the party. It's your neighbour Brian. Brian has to be one of the most annoying people you know. He's rude, grumpy, he moans a lot, and he's not so flash on personal hygiene. He's the last person you want at your party. But before you know it, he goes straight inside without even saying hello. And he goes up to your guests and he's rude. He helps himself to drinks and food. And he generally acts a little weird towards your friends. And understandably, you feel pretty upset, embarrassed and angry. And before long, you go over to Brian and tell him, that's it, it's time for you to go. And you throw him out of your party. And once he's gone, you feel relieved. You go back to the party and start to enjoy yourself. But after a while, you hear the doorbell again. And when you go to check who it is, you realize Brian has come back. And before you can stop him, he opens the door and races back into the party. So you go out and get him and throw him out again. This time, though, you decide you're going to make sure he doesn't come back. So you decide to stand by the door and make sure he can't get back in. And this works fine. Brian can't get back in and you feel good about this. Trouble is, you realize that all the while you're missing out on the party. You can hear everyone else outside having a good time. You want to be out at the party too. But because you can't stand Brian, you can't risk him coming back in again. and you don't know what to do. You really want to enjoy the party, but the thought of Brian being there really gets to you. After a while, you realize that, actually, this party is pretty important to you, and you want to be with your friends, and the very least just to make sure they're okay. So you decide to go back out, and you say to yourself, if Brian comes out, that's how it goes. And sure enough, after a couple of minutes, Brian comes back in and starts being annoying again. But this time something's different. You don't ignore him, because he's pretty hard to ignore, but you decide just to get on with the party and talk with your friends, and you start to notice some interesting things. First, you find that even though Brian is still there, you're actually having an okay time. Sure, it'd be better if he went home, but at least you're not stuck at the door, missing out on the party. Second, you notice that when you're not trying to get rid of him all the time, he calms down a little bit. He's still a pain and still smells, but he's not so rowdy. And then after that, you start to notice some other things about Brian you hadn't actually seen before. Like that he has a quirky sense of humour, even though it's buried pretty deep. And he even makes a couple of friends of yours laugh. And you wonder to yourself, what will you do next time you have a party?
Like you see from this video, instead of spending the whole party fighting this guest, you allow them to be there without letting them run the evening. What if you stopped wrestling with their presence and turned your attention back to your life you want to live? Accepting the guest doesn't mean liking them or inviting them to take over. It means making room for discomfort without letting it control your choices. So you have your choice. If you are preoccupied with its presence and their presence in the party, and this Brian bad guest is your anxiety and your pain and your unpleasant memories that you need to get rid of it. They always there. You cannot go in any way. So the perfect way is just to let this guest to be there and take a choice toward a meaningful and valued life. This is what is called by the bad guest metaphor. Now we are going to the second session, and the second techniques was called cognitive diffusion. And these are very easy, by the way, techniques, and we're going to practice it with each other. Cognitive diffusion refers to changing how we relate our thoughts rather than trying to change their content. And this techniques is related to your thought mainly. Just only your thought, not your feeling. Your feeling is supposed to observe and to mindfulness on it. But your thoughts is supposed to use cognitive diffusion. The difference and the opposite of the fusion is called fusion. Fusion make that you get fused with your thoughts, make you and yourself as one, make you and the thoughts as one person. If you're telling yourself that I am a failure, I am an incompetent person, that makes that you are talking about yourself. It's just thoughts. In these techniques, we are going to make you and learn you to see the thoughts in the mental events, the words, the images, or stories produced by your mind. Diffusion is a process that reduces the dominance of thoughts over behaviors by altering their function, not their form. We step back and notice thoughts instead of getting caught up in them. Techniques is very easy, by the way. It is called I am having the thought that. So now I'm inviting every one of you for 2 minutes to choose one of the unpleasant and uncomfortable thoughts that always came to your minds and start using these techniques. I am having the thought that. The first, start telling yourself what you are telling about yourself. Like, I'm a failure. I am not good enough. I am incompetent. I am malfunction. Like this way, what you are telling yourself about your thoughts. And start to add a phrase before this, like telling yourself, I am having the thought that I am not good enough. and end by I notice that I am having the thought that I am not good enough. This is the three steps of these techniques. So I will give you 2 minutes just to practice that in yourself and give me feedback on the chat. Or any, if you want discussion, you can discuss with me, by the way. I'm open for that, okay? You can do that. You have 2 minutes. Yes, this is very interesting. Give up and okay. I'm waiting. Yes, this is you get the point. And it help you to separate yourself from your thoughts, not from other person, from your thoughts. If you separate yourself from your thoughts, now you make a distance. This distance that you make will make you feel comfortable, by the way. Because if I'm telling you that you are telling yourself, I am not good, I am not good. Now you're talking about yourself. But if I'm telling myself, I am having the thought that I am not good, now like you make a step forward and look to your thought, not look from your thought. No, you are not inside your thought. Now you are out of your thought. Do you know this meaning? This is a very good meaning, by the way, which improving your awareness and make you take decisions more good and make you feel good about yourself. Because you're telling yourself that this thought is one of the products of your mind, not you. No, it is a product of my mind. So if I'm telling myself, I notice I am having the thought that I am not good enough. No, this is a very different between I'm not good enough. This is one of the effect of language, by the way. So if you're telling yourself that like you are playing with your mind. You're telling your mind that no, yes, I know that you are telling me that, but it's just thought, not fact. It will go. Maybe it came back again, but it will go and they came and will go. But this is not fact. Valerie, it is as if I'm not talking about myself, but giving someone advice after the third phrase. Yes, like you have your private doctor, your private psychologist inside you, like this way. If you need a consultant, you have the consultant inside you by this way of thinking. So I'm having a thought that I could be wrong and separate it. It look like reactive. Receive thoughts that I could be also right. It look like I receive thoughts that I could be also right. Yes. Could be. Even wrong and right. We're just not looking for thoughts that are right or wrong, by the way. It's just thought. The way that I'm learning you from these techniques is just to make a step distancing you from your thought. This step will make you take decisions more right, more meaningful toward your life. Because if you're telling yourself, I am not good enough, these thoughts become one. You and thought become one person. This is called fusion. And this will affect in your decisions. But if you're telling yourself that, just give me a moment, please. But if you're giving yourself a distance in between this and your actions, you can take your actions more serious. Yes, it's a very simple techniques, by the way. This is a very simple techniques. Right. The other techniques is called leave on a stream. This exercise is a participant to observe thoughts without attaching to them or trying to control them. So if you look into your thoughts, like that is a leaf is came down from a tree, and every leaf came down from a tree is hold a thought on it. Your mind consistently produce thoughts. The problem is not having thoughts, but it is getting entangled with them. So imagine you are sitting beside a gently flowing stream. Leaves float along the surface of the water, and each time a thought appears in your mind, please it on a leaf and let it float away. Okay, so we can look to this video and imagine that. You found in this video that a leaf is calm down and your difficult and unpleasant thoughts and feeling not this or this leaf. Just let this feeling and thoughts to let down without hooked or catching to them. Practice. Look to the leaf while goes down, and every leaf of this hold thoughts and memory and feeling that is unpleasant to me. Just notice, observe, not hooked and struggle. I will stop because sometimes maybe overwhelming by these thoughts and feelings that came from the dark box in my mind. So someone writes something that is very beautiful, by the way. Uh, Kofan telling us that I felt that my thoughts is no longer seemed as strong as or as true as a sense of distancing between me and the thoughts. Yes, this is what exactly what we learned from these techniques, which you call I'm having the thought that. This is a very easy technique, by the way. Very easy to practice, very easy to do that. These techniques is changing your relationship with your thoughts because it gives you a distancing between you and thought. So the power and the control of thought became decreased because you can take an actions without think that this thought is fact. I'm telling you also that, oh, this is just thought. This is one of the products of my mind, and so on. One of the very beautiful techniques that I'm using in my life is called silly voice exercise. And this is a very way, it's a very joking and very funny exercise, by the way, silly voice exercise. Imagine yourself that you have a very unpleasant thoughts that is make you suffer, and you telling yourself these thoughts with another voice. You change the voice, like using a robot type voice. You record these thoughts in a voice and change it like a cartoon voice, a robot, or make it a song. This way is very funny, by the way. If you I mean you are not good enough. Now you are not good enough. Done like this way. You're changing the tone of the voice. So imagine that another one telling you this, but not a monster, by the way. Just it chose a silly voice that is very funny for you. This way of this exercise with changing the context of thoughts, and this also can reducing its impact. So the thoughts is not coming from your inside. Now the thoughts is coming from another context, another tone of voice. And these thoughts were always true and powerful, then changing how the sound wouldn't affect them. Let's test that. We can do that. I'm sorry, but I'm not have the ability to do that, but I'm inviting any one of you to just record the thoughts that make him uncomfortable and unpleasant, and change the tone of this. You can use any recording program, by the way. You make it like a cartoon voice or like a robot voice. You will find it, it's very 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 funny, by the way. So if you do that, if you do that, you can ask yourself, did the thoughts feel the same, or did it lose some of its seriousness? You found that it will change in its seriousness and its impact. So what diffusion, this is a summary about diffusion. Make the step back, see thoughts as thoughts and not just facts. So what is meaning by thoughts by using diffusions techniques? We are going to the third techniques and third sessions, which called present moment awareness exercise. And this techniques is talking about mindfulness. Mindfulness and the present moment awareness exercise is to be flexible, not judgmental attention, and to what is happening here and now, internally and externally. So what is meaning by present moment with another meaning is called mindfulness, and you can using mindfulness by many ways, by the way. Mindfulness is one of the most powerful techniques and exercise that is used worldwide, by the way. And I'm telling you before, there is a biological studies using a measurable and observable measurement to see the effect of mindfulness on your brain structures, and found there is a huge changes in the amygdala and hippocampus and frontal cortex, and found that 10 minutes per day you are practicing mindfulness or improving your emotional regulations and improving your resilience and improving your taking more good and more right actions by using just only 10 minutes of mindfulness per day. How I can using mindfulness? It's very easy. Mindfulness, some people have something that misconcepted about how I can practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is not saying that you sit in a very quiet place and close your eyes and begin to sitting back in this way without any instructions and like this. No, no, no. You can doing mindfulness while you are walking, while you are doing your homework, while you are doing your food for your children. Okay, but how I can do that? Listen to me. Do everything and every actions slowly, slowly. Focus on the steps. When you are eating, just focus what you are eat. Focus on the taste. Is it sour? Is it more sugary, more sweet? Is it more salt? Okay, now I'm going to chew the food in my mouth. I'm going to swallow. Okay, the very good taste, by the way. When you are washing the dishes, by the way, it's very easy. Just doing action slowly. When you are walking, just focus on the steps by your feet. what you are feeling when you put the feet in the floor. What you start first, by the heel or by the toes of your feet. What you are feeling in the muscles of your legs, your chest. Are your breathing increased or decreased? This is what the meaning by you are adding a quality in your behaviors. We are not act without getting mindfulness with our actions. So if you look into yourself, you do a lot of actions all of the day, but you don't feel happy. If you are sitting with your children, just focus on them instead of focusing on your mobile. Focus on their smiles, their talk, their small TikToks, their giggling. Look to their faces. If you are sitting with your grandma or grandfather, these old people, not focus on your phone or focus on reading something or become wondering about past experience. No, no, just focus on the present. Look to their faces. Look to these grimaces in their foreheads and cheeks. Look their eyes. This is what give you the meaning and value of life. When you are praying, when you are talking with someone you love. So if you want to practice mindfulness, it is not just with this concrete meaning that I'm going to sit and make everything around me quiet without any noise and start to practice mindfulness. No, you can do that while you are doing your daily living activities. You can do that while you are, I'm telling you that what you are eating and so on. So there is a very easy steps to practice mindfulness. You can using your senses. Now, if I ask you to see 5 things you can see in your room, and 4 things you can feel, and 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. So if you are going to practice these techniques, it's easy to practicing it through using the 5 senses. Seeing by your eyes something around you that you are not attentive to it before. It is the first time to see it. If you ask me to see, oh, I'm looking. Well, there is something that you are not attentive before, supposing to see by your eyes if you are get aware. If I want to give you the meaning of mindfulness more concretely, if you put in a bottle of water, maybe I'm telling you that 10 pellet of sugar, and you begin to mix this sugar with this water, the sugar with water become very sweety because the water of the amount of water is very small amount instead of very large amount of sugar. But if you take the same cup of water and put it in 10 liters of water, you will find that the taste of sweet has become diluted with the 3 liters of water and become disappeared. This is what happened by making mindfulness. Mindfulness making that you expand your feeling, like you are looking to your life through this glass. And this glass representing the thought of failure. If you wear the glass, you see everything around you from this glass. So I'm telling you to just get this glass off from your face and start to expand your awareness through mindfulness, through expanding your attention, expanding your awareness toward 5 senses, like I'm telling you in these techniques. And the other technique is called deep breathing. So mindfulness breathing exercise. This is a very, very, very good and very powerful exercise, by the way. Body screening exercise and mindfulness exercise. So bring your attention to your breath. Start to bring your attention from your thought to your breath. Notice the sensation of air moving in and out. Notice the raise and the fall of your chest when your mind wanders, and it will gently bring it back to the breath. If you are practicing this, when you are feeling bad and you are feeling suffering, these techniques will make you comfortable and make you more easing with your feeling and thoughts. So I will close the session right now, and we are going to continue in the next 2 weeks, by the way. So because I'm just taking about 1 hour and 12 and 20 minutes. I think this is enough, and I will give you 5 minutes for discussion if any one of you need to ask anything about that. I have another exercise, but I think this exercise will take from us 10 minutes to 15 minutes just to practice because this is a mindful exercise. So I will start the next session with this exercise, a very powerful exercise. This is a mindfulness exercise. We are going to practice eat techniques and eat process during the mindfulness. And we are going to do that in the next session, inshallah, after 2 weeks from now. So we have 5 minutes to discuss anything you want to ask. And thank you for your watching.
Thank you for so much for all these practices, and they are really simple, but you never expected how what influence they can have. And I thought about this like like some phrase you create some phrase some for example you are not good at something, and for example if some robot will repeat yes,
Yes.
and I remembered the toy, my daughter's toy, the hamster. You know, this
Yes.
hamster
Yes.
this
Yes.
is repeating everything you said.
Yes. A very good example,
Yeah,
by the way. Yes.
yeah, and I thought, okay, if I can set this hamster, what I'm not enough or I'm not really good at something,
Yes.
yeah, it could be very funny and maybe it can help. I should try. Thank you.
It will help you with that. It will help you. It's a very good example, by the way. This game is very good, by the way. This toy of hamster, you can seriously telling this hamster what you feeling pathering and it's
Mhm,
suffering, and it will replay on you with another tone of voice, with like
mhm,
funny voice. This is will give and
mhm.
decrease the impact of thoughts on your mind and your feeling. And anyone have any questions?
Mm. How do you think can we use this practice just with ourselves or together with something? Or this is more for ourselves to
Yes,
be.
this is your for self because this is an individual psychotherapy. It is not a group, but you
Mhm,
can practice it in a group. Yani, if you look into the monster tug of war with the monsters, the techniques of tug of war. If you practice tug of war with any one of your friends and you begin to tug the rope toward each other, and you're telling him that if you have in a serious conditions and you're supposing to win the battle when you are pulling the rope with someone who is more stronger than you and you can win this battle. So what is the solution for this battle? The solution, the very important solution, is just to drop the rope. Just focus on your life. Focus what is important in your life, and stop pulling the rope because this make your life worse and make your life bad.
yeah, thank you for all these practices, and this
Thank you so
session
much.
was deeper, and I understand we are deeper and deeper in this world of understanding our emotions, our feelings. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. And I'm telling you, it is a very easy exercises. I'm invite every one of you to practice that until we return and we see each other in the next 2 weeks, and we can have an impact of what how this affecting your life. I think it will make your life completely different and more meaningful, more rich. And please start the things that I'm talking about, which called make everything in your life slowly. Stop doing things quickly. Focus on the steps. Focus on the process, not focus on the conclusion or the end. This will make your life different because if you focus on the steps, that will make your life more meaningful, more rich. I think Katrina,
Yeah,
yes.
may I ask also one question? As I feel after this practice, for example, what we did this time, for me it goes up question about how to start doing something when you're in such, like calm and mindfulness state. Because for example, I work with athletes, and I think how how to connect, because I understand it will help in mind. How is, yeah, yes,
Activity with
it's
mind.
with their mind, but how it connects with their body work, so people who work with their body, people who have to has some energy and realize this energy in life, how we can connect it with their body work.
Mindfulness and so what we are talking about, mindfulness is doing that indirectly, affecting your body, affecting your way of thinking, by the way. If you are all of the time feeling anxious, feeling sad, feeling that you can't take an action in the right way, you all of the time become crowded with thoughts and feeling. Sometimes we feel this way of feeling if you are distressed and suffering from a lot of problems in our life. Uh, if you're practicing mindfulness, this will affecting your body functions indirectly because as I'm telling you before, mindfulness is going to improve your brain functions because there is a biological studies talking about that. The stress and the anxiety are the opposite and vice versa, affecting your body functions negatively. But if you are practicing mindful and practice present moment exercise, this will changing your relationship with your body functions. This will make you comfortable and easy with yourself. This is will make you more passion and more enthusiastic in your life activities. This is will make you compassionate about yourself, not feeling guilt, not feeling shame, not feeling embarrassment about what you are feeling right now. And this is a way because mindfulness have a lot of functions and a lot of benefits. Some benefits directly affecting your way of thinking and the way of dealing with this, what inside in your mind, and indirectly in another way, like it will make you take a decisions of your life more aware. If you are going to take a decision with more aware way, this will make these decisions that you are going to take in your life right, without any bias, without any past experience that will affecting these decisions. If you are angry or worried and you have to take a decision right now, and you are fused by this angry and worrying from the past experience, this will affecting your decision right now. So the decision is going to be wrong and going to be affecting your life in the future. But if you are present moment and mindfulness, now you are going to focus on the problem right now without fusing it with past experience before. And this is what your mind actually do. So mindfulness is going to change your way of thinking. It's going to change your feeling. It's going to change your life, by the way. And this is
Mhm.
one of the things that you need to learn, that you need to practice all of the day. You need to stop doing things quickly. Life is very quickly, by the way, now in the era of artificial intelligence and these ways, we now can do everything quickly. If you look into applications of communications like Messenger, and WhatsApp, and Telegram, and this, you will find that there is an option that you can make the message more quickly. You can speed the message, and this affecting your way of communication. You cannot be patient when you are communicating with someone you love. You need people to get hurry when you are when you are talking with you. You need everything you do in a hurry, and this is not good because you're doing a lot of things that is very beautiful in your life, but you can't feel nothing. You feel empty. You are not motivated from inside. So if you're doing these things slowly, when you focus on the steps, I'm looking after my kids. This is one of the great duty in the world, in the life. If I'm feeling like that, if I'm changing my way of thinking like this way, this will have an impact in my body. My skin will be healthy, my hair, my sleep ability. I'm not having a problem in sleeping because I'm comfortable with I'm thinking. I have acceptance with these thoughts and feeling which is unpleasant and uncomfortable for me. I will make space for them. I will invite them to come and give him drink for the way, tea or anything.
Yeah, it looks like it helps to create, like this point when you can be one who make a decision.
Yes.
Yes, I understand it. Thank you. It's very, very interesting.
Try to practice that and they will find a change in your life. Try to practice that. I practice that from about 5 years, 6 years, 6 years. And I'm completely different right now. I'm doing a lot of success in my life. I'm finishing my PhD when I'm 32 years old. I'm doing a lot of researches in ACT in this therapy in a lot of patients, borderline personality, nurses, doctors, physicians, and patients of schizophrenia, like the patients who have schizophrenia of auditory hallucinations, delusions. And this techniques is very promising, by the way, very promising. I'm talking about uh, unhealthy people, people who suffer from disease. Imagine that for someone who have nothing, who have no problems, just some thoughts and feelings that make life suffer, make life worse.
Thank you so much. Thank you once again for this excellent, like highly engaging lecture and valuable for a practical approach for some base for our thoughts in our life because yeah, it pushes us to understand our feelings and that
Yes.
we are not alone. Somebody inside us can help us.
Yes, yes. You are your consultant. You are your doctor. You are a physician. You have the therapy inside you. You don't need therapy from anyone. You don't need any medication. Just change your relationship with your mind. Change your relationship with your mind. Stop fighting. Stop resisting. What you resist, persist.
Yeah, so thank you for your time. Thank you for this session. We are looking for for a new session, and thank you so much. I really enjoyed this session, and I think I can use some practice in my life,
Yes. I'm
especially
waiting.
in looking to details around me, not
Yes.
just for result.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I'm looking forward for the third session. See you in 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Yeah, goodbye.
Goodbye.